We're going to learn how to make a virus stitch shawl. I'm going to be using Karen Skinny Cakes in the colorway Rainbow, and I will be using my 4.5mm hook as usual. We're going to begin with a rather large magic ring or magic circle. And we're going to chain up 3 to begin, and that will count as our first double crochet. And then we will do 19 more onto the ring. Counting in this particular pattern is rather important. Having the exact number makes everything fall in perfectly. I only say that because this is not the first time I've started this. Also, speaking of numbers, this is a 4-row repeating pattern. So once you have the 4 rows down, this pattern just sort of flies and takes its own shape. $14, $15. And just to double check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So once I have my 20 on there, I pull the tail and I'll sew that into the circle to reinforce it. Notice I don't pull it completely tight because this will be a shawl. You want the top to be rather flat. So starting the second row, we are going to chain up 4. That will count as our first double crochet and chain. We will skip this stitch and we'll go into the top of this stitch, but we'll make it a double crochet. So this row is double crochet, chain 1, and you're going to do that in every stitch around. So I've been asked why this is called a virus stitch shawl, or the virus stitch in general. And my explanation is that it repeats so much it spreads like a virus. But when my husband sees me make this, he calls it my owl pattern, and we'll see why he says that. And once he told me, I can't unsee it. This was also a pattern that I was very intimidated by, but once I sat down and learned the 4 repeating rows, I realized it wasn't that intimidating. And I hope you feel the same way after this video. And because we are using the 3 chains as an initial stitch, you do need to include that as well. Okay, so that's what it should look like up to this point. Row 3 is the only one that does not involve double crochets. It's a whole bunch of chaining and single crochets. So let's begin. You're going to chain 10 as your first, and that counts as your starting, and then where we'll build the next bubble, as I call them. So you're going to skip this opening. So skip the first chain opening, go into the second chain opening, and make a single crochet. You'll then crochet 3 chains, skip that chain opening, and go into the next. And you'll do that 3 times. 2, 3, skip, single crochet. 1, 2, 3, skip, single crochet. So once you've done 1 big loop and 3 small loops, you're going to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is going to create a side-by-side bubble, and this is where the owl starts to show up. And whatever you do to one side, you're going to do to the other side. So you're going to do 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to skip, single crochet. You'll do your 3 sets of 3, skipping, and single crocheting. So the last one is not going to look like you skip anything, but because of the foundation chain, you're going to do 7. And by 7, I mean 7 chains. And then you're going to put a double crochet counting up 3 chains for your double crochet. And the reason for that is this is where the flat line should be. So over here, it's 1, 2, 3 for the double crochet, and then 7 for the bubble. So that's what row 3 looks like. Row 4, we are going to put in our double crochets, and we'll have a few more of the 3 chain single crochet. So you're going to start with 3 chains, which will count as your first double crochet, which means in this bubble you will only put 9 for a total of 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you're going to, in the first set of 3 chains, you are going to put a single crochet. You will chain 3. In the next set of 3, you're going to put a single crochet, chain another 3, and put a single crochet. So this is going to create a triangle. You have 3 loops here. Now you have 2, and on the last one you will have 1. So you'll immediately start in on the double crochets in the big loop, and you'll do 10 there as well. So you have 10 on this side, and you're just going to jump right in to 10 on the next big loop. So we're to the 3 sets of 3 chains. So you'll go in the first one and make a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the next set, chain 3, single crochet, and then you'll jump right back into 10 double crochets in the last loop. And I do the first 9 as usual, just on the single crochet chain. And for the 10th one, I like to actually attach it to, just to hold the integrity of the shape for the edging. And it's not as easy as I like to make it seem. So I actually went in on the chain, so that way this double crochet or makeshift double crochet holds its own spot. So this is what it looks like so far. We have done all 4 rows that repeat, but for good measure we will go through it one more time, just because it feels a little different once you get past the first time. So I think this 5th row is the easiest because it's just a repeat almost exactly of the row before. You're going to chain up 3, that will be your first double crochet, which means you'll skip this stitch, and you're just going to do 1 double crochet in each of the 10 stitches already provided. I guess 9 for this portion, 10 if it's not the starting one. Then you're going to put a single crochet into the chain 3, do 3 chains, and then a single crochet. And here you'll do 20 double crochets because the 10 are now considered one group, or the 2 sets of 10, sorry, are considered one group. Once you've done the 20, you're going to do a single crochet in the 3 chain. You'll do 3 chains again, a single crochet, and then you'll do your last 10. Because this is the final bubble, I do the last double crochet actually into the 3 chain makeshift double crochet, which, as I was saying it, is the only thing that makes sense. We have a color change. Okay, that is the end of row 5, and here you can see where my husband is talking about the owl, the eyes, the beak, and the face. And now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Row 6 is going to be the expanding row. So this time you're going to chain up 4, and that will count as the double crochet and the chain space. You'll skip and go to the second stitch. So you'll have 10 double crochets with a chain in between each one. And for the double crochet chain, I missed the chain on that one. You will only do 1 single crochet, and you'll do double crochet chain all the way across the 20 section. And just to show you, that's now the valley, and when we come through on the next round, that's where a new bubble will go. So now that you've seen it, it looks much more intricate than the 4 rows that we have started to repeat. But that's really all there is to it. 2 rows of double crochet, a row of double crochet with a chain in the middle, and then a whole bunch of chaining and single crochet. But knowing how and where to put the placement really helps and makes it seem a little less intimidating. However, if you do have questions or need to see something a little bit differently, please feel free to leave a comment below, and I will answer them. Okay, we do our single crochet, and then we do our last bubble. Sorry, my speech delay is on high today. And make sure, since we did the last stitch or the first stitch from chains, make sure to grab that one as well to make the counts correct. And that's what it looks like so far. Let's do 1 or 2 more rows. So the next row is just the chain and single crochet. So you'll start with 10. And remember that's 7 plus the double crochet to keep the shape. Skip the first chain. And this time we do the 3 sets of 3 chains. And we do 7. And this is where we cover that gap. So we skip this one, we skip this one, so we go into the second of the next cluster, and we do 3, skip 1, 3, skip 1, 3, skip 1, and then 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip 1. And you'll notice that that should always be the center stitch. Wherever you put that single crochet, it should line up with the center of the piece. And then we create a mirror of that by doing 7 and repeating again. Okay, so we're skipping this one, chaining 7, skip, skip, go into the second opening on the next cluster and do it again. 1, 2, 3, skip, single, 1, 2, 3, skip, single, 1, 2, 3, skip, single, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then double crochet into the top of the makeshift double crochet over here. At this point you should see the pattern. You do that endlessly until you feel the shawl is big enough or to your liking. I will do one more row just for those who want to see how to make this continue on. If you don't need it, thanks for watching. Please make sure you subscribed, and I'll see you at the next tutorial. Alright, so we're just going to repeat a lot of what we've already done. Chain up 3, 9 double crochets in this one, and that's for a total of 10 double crochets. And we will do a single, 3 chains, single, 3 chains, single, and here we have a new opening, so we're going to do 10 double crochets into that opening. So we did 10 there, and we'll do single crochet, 3 chains, single crochet, 3 chains, single crochet, 10 double crochet into the big loop, and then we mirror it starting immediately with 10 double crochets in the next big loop, single crochet, 3 chains, single crochet, 3 chains, 10 double crochets in the big loop, and then we go into single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and then 9 double crochets regular, and lock that 10th one into the chain 3 we created by chaining up. All right. So continue repeating those over and over, and you have your virus stitch. I hope this was easy and helpful for you to create your very own virus stitch shawl.